Alright YouTube, back with another recap of round 2 of my game with Madman playing BBR3 with our expansion house rules that we have come up with. So again, we are playtesting these to see how they work with the mechanisms of BBR, and just kind of playtesting how they work out, and just kind of taking it from there, making adjustments and things to consider as we see how things pan out and stuff. So anyway, on with the show. Here is the boneyard dish. Not as exciting as round 1, but still fairly significant. I got an Italian roundel in there. Got a bunch of Vichy units. Got another Free French unit. Some Germans, Soviets, etc. Which means Germany declared war on the Soviet Union and took out Eastern Poland, and had also taken the Baltic states, but as you can see, the Soviets took it back, backing up to the rest of Germany. Besides that, that was the only combat he did with Germany. The ground units in Norway went up to Finland, and he sent a AAA and 5 infantry into the Baltics right there. And then he sent units to Romania, and all the fast movers just whoosh. So he's got all this on the way. His air force is in Western Germany for the most part there, and a couple units in 4 units, in Romania. It's hard to remember what things are called sometimes with so many territories and text being covered by pieces. But anyway, so Germany didn't do anything beyond that that was crazy exciting per se, at least that I can remember. Russia then, having the opportunity, took Baltic states back so that it could get that 1-0. Then they took out the guy in eastern Iran who eliminated 1 Soviet infantry. So the invasion of Iran, as you see, has begun, and the Middle East, or Iraq, anyway. Then a lot of fortification, backing the Leningrad factory up, and sending units to Bryansk, as well as building more units in Ukraine, Moscow, and oh yeah, I got a fighter. I actually rolled a 5 for the Lend-Lease, so I got a fighter. Awesome, I get 3 fighters. Very happy about that. I also railed an infantry to Tunguska, because why not? And then we got this going on here, which is the same. Nothing's changed over there. So Russia's at war. Russia's got a healthy stack of chips. It's a lot of ones. Then Japan. Japan further expanded into China a little bit, and then took what it had over here and went over here. So we have the Solomon Islands and the Gilbert Islands they took. So that disrupted. Normally with the Anzac NO, they're fighting over here, but they sent shit over here, and I don't have a transport, and so Anzac has to turtle. It's only round 2, and Americans aren't in a situation where they can come down here yet. Then outside of that, he activated Siam. So I know this guy's yellow here. Oh, sorry. This guy's yellow. It's a yellow gold HBG guy. I am just using this to signify that it's units that come from Siam. Or sorry, not Siam, Thailand. It is officially Thailand. For BBR4, that's the one thing from BBR4 that we're bringing in. Unless there's something else I'm forgetting. Oh yeah, we brought this thing in so there were 2 guys in Iraq, 1 guy in northwest Iran. Anyway, and then we added a guy in eastern Iran. Well, that shouldn't be there anymore. Anyway, getting ahead of myself. Oh, these are still here. Got all this cleanup. Okay. So Japan took here, here, and here, and there were 2 Chinese units they wiped out there. And then the U.S. took Wake Island back as a walk-in. because he took the units from there to Gilbert Islands, or he took them to Solomon Islands, and then those guys were the dudes from the Philippines and somewhere else. I think that's what. Sorry. The Philippines was used to activate Siam, and the Caroline Island guys were what was brought over to Gilbert Islands. That's it. Okay. This is what the U.S. is doing. They fortified Hawaiian Islands, and then moved their naval units over here, and they dropped 2 guys with this bomber over there, restricted the air transport, and brought attack over there. New units on the way here. And on this side of the map, America took Casablanca, and so we got a healthy Allied Navy here, but we got a healthy Italian Navy here, so we'll see. Then we have some more units there on the way. Hopefully we'll get a pipeline here kind of going eventually, but we'll see. China, all they did was they lost a cavalry, so they bought a cavalry and then more infantry, and then they went up to Xikang and left a guy in Yunnan. So everything here is the Chinese horde is congregating right there. And then the UK took out French Indochina, since it was Vichy and a walk-in. The 2 units over here went to there. The UK invaded eastern Iran, invaded Iraq, blitzed through Italian Somaliland into British Somaliland, knocking out 1 infantry for 1 infantry there, and then target selected and killed the destroyer in 98. Moved the Navy up here, brought the units out, the unit that was in Egypt out, and then congregated in Anglo-Egyptian Sudan. And then over here, the UK also took out Morocco, but as you can see, the Italians took it back. Let's see, what else? They flew 2 infantry from London as well as the fighters to Gibraltar, and brought the remaining navy down here as well. Italy decided to be as much of a thorn in my side as possible and brought everything over to there. So he had options. He brought everything over there. He took Egypt. Obviously, I will be taking that back very shortly. But he took Morocco back, eliminated the infantry and mech I brought down there, and that was one Vichy territory lost, now regained by the Italians. And then he brought the Vichy unit in from Algeria on Vichy's turn into Morocco, which I'm not quite sure how I feel about that. Vichy units being able to leave their territories, but Madman did bring up a good point that there actually were French volunteers that fought for the Axis, for Germany on the Eastern Front and stuff, so they fighting communism, whatever, but there were French volunteers. So what with there being a state of war between Vichy France and the Allies already, it's reasonable that they can do that. So that is what we will be doing for this game, that they can move into Axis territories. They still can't activate pro-Axis territories, but they can move into Axis territories. So they wouldn't have been able to this guy would not have been able to activate Iraq, for instance. Okay. Then from there, Canada left the units in French Guiana, brought the destroyer over to that navy, and then sent the transport back up to 101 to pick up the infantry and artillery that were in eastern United States, and then bought another transport and another artillery. Anzac, backing up over here, kind of touched on this already, but congregating back into New South Wales. Got a turtle a little bit, so I was going to build another transport, but then he did this, and so I'm like, oh, well, I can't risk losing my money, so anyway, so that's the case with that. Now, the thrilling part that I'm sure you're all very curious about, we got France, which I realized I forgot to collect France's money. Yes, France collects money in this game. So France had 2 infantry in French Central Africa. There was a Free France, sorry, to specify, Free France had 2 infantry in French Central Africa and the French fighter, in Gibraltar. All 3 units attacked the Vichy unit in French West Africa, and I lost 1 Free French unit, but was able to take it. So now, Free France has an economy of 3, which means cut in half, rounded down. So that would mean, that would still mean 1 IPC. So they now have 2 IPCs. And then with that means once they get the 3, they can buy infantry. They can only actually buy infantry. And then with this, where did I put it? Oh, here we go. I got a blue die for France for their Lend-Lease, and I rolled a 3. Did I do it again? I did do it again. Oh man, okay. So I rolled a 3, so that means they get a tank. So Free France has a tank. Got this little HBG French tank, not an out-of-box blue T-34. But yeah, nice, right? Okay. Anyway, so they got a tank, and it goes in French Equatorial Africa, provided they get that. Provided this Lend-Lease here is not interrupted. So the reason this Lend-Lease is here is instead of here is A, there's already a convoy here, but B, mirror the Lend-Lease up here. So the Lend-Lease is 1 destination away from the target of where the aid will go, right? And the same thing from here. So the Lend-Lease destination will be here, but the Lend-Lease is here. So duplicating that with this, okay? And then the sub that I got previously went up to 87. Cool, so that about does it. Turkey is not involved. No one has declared war on them. Nobody would right now. That'd be kind of silly. But anyway, so that is where we're at right now. So now for the bad news. Oh, hold on, one more thing. There's bad news, but where we're at on the tracker is here. And then we went ahead and rolled the tech for round 3. Japan got it, so it has to pay 6. Germany rolled a 4. Russia and US rolled a 1, and then the UK rolled a 3 or a 4. I think it was a 3. Okay, they rolled a 3. So, and then Anzac in Canada, Anzac paid for the tech this time, so they are now in phase 3. Very cool. So that is where we're at. The bad news, as I was saying, is that I am about to start working a big job the next few days, the next 4 days, and then another job after that. But there's a good chance we will not be able to resume this until, until Sunday, possibly earlier, depending on how I feel after work. Doing some big AV install at a place, so at the end of the day I'm just beat. So probably gonna have to wait until Saturday night at the earliest, but more likely Sunday, but we'll see. Anyway, so until then, I've been rolling the dice pretty well this game, so hopefully I can keep it up. But maybe some of you want Madman to roll the dice better.